full of demons. He fell and worshiped him. Some of these things that we get attacked by, has nothing to do directly with what we've done. Some of these things that are on us are curses from our generations. Some of these things we're fighting with and fussing about right now is because Eve disobeyed God. Not only Eve, but Adam, who was directly in the line of fire. When God issued out that commandment, Adam was there. Here's how we are to handle this thing called spiritual warfare. Firstly, in order to get to this thing called spiritual warfare, you got to go through the proper chains. Number one, there's a praise that you must give to God to connect yourself with the Spirit. I feel a word over you right now. There is a praise that you must give God that connects yourself to this level of the Spirit. Then after you give God this particular praise that connects yourself to this level of the Spirit realm, then you move over into another dimension in the Spirit realm. When you move over into this next dimension, it has nothing to do with supplications unto God whatsoever. It has nothing to do with God bless me, God touch me, God heal me, God keep me. But this level of praise or praise you go into is called in-depth spiritual warfare. And that's when you stop talking to God and you start talking to the enemy. You know, God is more than this skittles and rainbows, and he's loving and wonderful. He's a powerful God. He's a mighty God. He's big in battle. And see, he reigns in us to do likewise. And when Jesus went away, he told the disciples, he said, great works are you going to do. So here's the thing. When we go into this next dimension called warfare, and we stop talking to God, and we start telling the enemy who he is and who he is not, he's a liar. He is not your Lord. He is the father of lies. He is not the King of kings. He is not the lion. The Bible says he came as a roaring lion, to and fro, seeking whom he may devour. He's the counterfeit of our God. God has angels. He has demons. He's the counterfeit. And sometimes, if you're not careful, you'll fall for the counterfeit. And the enemy will suck you in a vortex, and you'll find yourself fighting a fight that you have no business fighting. You find your flesh in a place where it has no business being. Because you didn't deal with the lust spirit, now you got yourself in the lion's den. Down the road in the lion's den. Because we didn't deal with our flesh issues. Because we didn't deal with the thought that came in our mind. Now we're down there at the bar and we're shaking it and making it. Because we didn't deal with our thought process. Because the enemy gave us an antidote that was counterfeit. And so God is saying today that the saints must gird themselves up in the spirit realm and get rid of this counterfeit religion. Get rid of the counterfeit praise. Get rid of the counterfeit worship and give God some true worship from your heart. Sometimes we don't feel like coming to church and waving our hands, but because we have an in-depth love for God, we'll come when the pastor says, you are holy, and we'll lift our hands and we'll worship. And regardless of how I even said it just a few minutes ago. We can't stop what comes out of our mouth. If it's already out, we can't stop it. It's too far gone, it's out. But we can stop it here. That's why we got to make sure our helmet of salvation is there. To protect our minds, protect our thought process, and to bring those thoughts into subjection. We must make sure that our thought processes are together. Because if we don't stop that thought from getting into here and germinating and getting itself bigger in your mind, it will go right down to your spirit. Now it's in your mind and in your spirit. And if you don't stop it with prayer, fasting, and supplication unto God, it'll move from your spirit and it becomes a matter of the heart. And when it becomes a matter of the heart, you start speaking what's on your heart. And then you'll find yourself in a constant cycle of speaking what's on your mind, because what's on your mind is actually in your heart now. And your heart is filled with negativity. Your heart is filled with doubt. Your heart is filled with mischief. So that's what comes out of your mouth. It's not what goes in a man, but what comes out of him that defiles you. Now you're defiled because what's coming out of your mouth is that was in your heart. What's coming out of your mouth is that was in your heart. You say you believe God with your mouth. You say, but your hearts are far from me. So now that we understand